Oh dear. But on the plus side, I'm going to look on these next pages a bit more happily. Page 51, Carnival of Rust, named after one of the best songs ever by Poets of the Fall, because this is the point where I decide that we're going to explore the carnival ride area of the island, which wasn't in the game.
Yes.
There's one panel where all the three guys scream because the boat's heading for a rock. That's entirely influenced by the Ace Ventura cartoon.
Yes.
Do you remember the Ace Ventura cartoon?
Yes, I don't remember this scene in it.
Well, no, it wasn't specifically this scene. He just had a habit going,
he did,
and his lips would do that. I actually looked up the lips.
Yeah.
And based this on a picture from that.
Well, they're a bit bitterly. Ben just looks like he's belching in that panel. I blame the glasses just because you can't really get them to emote properly when they're wearing sunglasses like that. So he just looks slightly indifferent but just belching.
Maybe he is.
Maybe he is.
Maybe he's not worried at all about them crashing into a rock.
I mean, like he says just a couple of panels down, he's never found a rock hard enough to put a dent in his head before.
Oh, it's funny. It's terrible and funny. But you say you can't emote with sunglasses. Captain always emotes with sunglasses.
Yeah.
Because I do this thing where the sunglasses can actually change shape.
Yeah, I tend to do the same thing as well, but you haven't done it on Ben.
Ben's sunglasses don't do that because he's got eyebrows.
Yes.
That's why I've never used his sunglasses to emote. And then we got a bit there where Payne's glasses break. And this, I think, was a reference to a Metal Gear Solid short.
Oh, yeah.
It was... MGS3 had a special edition version which was called Subsistence.
Oh, yeah, I think I played it.
And it came with a whole bunch of, demo theatre, Easter egg videos.
Yeah.
And I think there's one point where Ocelot keeps getting outwitted by Ava or something.
Yeah.
And there's one point where they literally have him go, batch, batch, batch. And I think the camera zooms out each time.
Yeah.
And that's where I nicked it from.
Okay.
But luckily, Captain always brings us better glasses. So
yeah.
Welcome to Burn the Land. Open 24 hours.
Soon to be worldwide.
Because he's going to take over the world.
Yes.
That was the implication.
Yes.
I do like the carnival.
Yeah, so do I.
With all the random lens flare and stuff. I think I did the lighting on this, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
A lot of effort went into that carnival. Yeah. And there's so many references here to...
Just the music video.
The music video Carnival of Rust, which I'm sure we'll link to.
Yeah.
The Break for Freedom stand with the guy with the pink top hat.
Yeah.
And the little girl with a gas mask and the lollipop.
And the stall there, so you're walking towards there as well, which is a Fortune Teller's thing.
Oh yeah, the Fortune Teller booth, where it's like, don't walk away, which is a line from the song. Yeah. And then just, everything's wrecked. Everything is wrecked. Ben breaks the already shoddy testicle strength meter. One of the random Ferris wheel booths falls off. And then we touch on the fact that the merchant doesn't ever seem to get in trouble with his fellow Ganados.
Yeah. Well, isn't it a fan theory that he's actually one of them, at least he has a parasite in him, but he just hasn't succumbed to it like the rest of the village has? I
think that's the implication. Or he's a Benedict Arnold, so he's in control of his parasite or something. It's never really explored. Yeah. Or he could just be pretending to be one of them. Maybe he's never had a parasite.
Yeah, he just happens to have really crusty eyes.
And then we meet JJ, which I suppose we're still kind of following the story, because you meet JJ first thing when you get onto the Sanders Island. And we get another fight sequence here. Payne's awesome at fighting, so, no worries at all. I think, again, this was a case where I just freestyled the fighting. Just kind of came up with it as I went along.
Yeah.
I didn't really intend for him to stick the stun stick into the guy's eye.
No.
I didn't know, maybe.
It's definitely very Payne just to see that and say, I wonder what this does.
I quite like it. It's just a random thing where he sticks it through the eye of the gas mask. It just goes in, and the guy's like,
Those are terrible electric effects that I did on that. I apologise.
Looks right to me.
No, they look horrible.
I quite like this. As it crackles as he falls backwards.
Yeah, it's alright on there, but I did the electrical effects far too thick on the panel before it. So I don't know, it looks like he's being attacked by a ghost or something rather than being electrocuted. I don't really know what's happening there.
Random aside, I think on the last page there was a reference to dodgems, and someone picked me up on that and said, "What are dodgems?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's a British thing. Yeah. We say dodgems. Everyone else says bumper cars, so I had to change that because he wanted to go on a bumper cars." JJ appears. And then I quite like the Hide and Fling panel. Actually, I do like the sequence quite a lot. There's a lot of energy in here, and it doesn't look terrible. It's got a little bit better in terms of
No, a lot of these later Detulux episodes were really good. I do really enjoy looking at them.
And then I have the longest tagline ever about supposed to do with Infinite Earths and...
Yeah, I don't really know where that came from. You decided to go on a mini rant about what's happening in every dimension.
Surreptitious Machinations, which I stole the title from. It used to be a comic series, I think, called, not Funny Farm, GPF, General Protection Fault. And that had a series, one of their storylines was called Surreptitious Machinations. That's where I stole that from.
Okay.
This entire sequence in the comm room is lifted entirely from a sequence where Ada and Krauser are talking.
Yeah, although I think I gave you a bit of stage direction for Sameda or Mara or whatever we want to call her, just kind of miming behind Krauser's back. So.
Don't know how well I've actually put that across, actually. A little bit, you get a little bit, blah, 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 can't make sense. But then this I think, so in the game, I think Krauser catches the knife by its handle.
Yeah.
In this, just to show how much of a badass he is, I have Bowser catch it by the blade.
Yeah.
And he's just holding it by the blade and his hand's bleeding and he doesn't even notice.
Well, it looks like he's just intentionally cutting himself up there just for reasons.
His nose is slowly growing bigger though in this one, because this is where it starts inflating.
This is really big in that one, but by the end of it it's just massive.
Yeah, the final was just huge, and I think I must have based all the subsequent ones on that sort of thing. But there is a line in Resident Evil 4 which always winds me up and you up, where it's like, I met the boss long before you.
We'll see soon enough if you did.
We'll see soon enough you did. What does that even mean? It's a statement of fact. I met him before you. It's not a case of the boss likes me better, in which case that would have made more sense. We'll see soon enough.
Yeah, if he does.
If he does. Not, we'll see soon enough if you did.
I'm not lying to you.
No, I'm lying to you. Do you have proof that you met him before me? We'll see soon enough if you did when I get my scrapbook out and I'll show you pictures of me from him in high school. Day? Yeah. And I have Bowser injected up with heroin, because why not? Oh, of course, all these got taglines which are Jack Bauer jokes, which are basically Chuck Norris jokes, aren't they?
Yeah, basically. This recycled being Jack Bauer.
But at least it saved me having to come up with terrible taglines in the meantime. Yeah. Man on Fire, named after the Denzel Washington film. That random dude who comes out of the...
I came up with a tagline for this one.
You can present person... Ben's irrational fear of huge freezer-shaped men jumping out of ovens.
Yeah.
Irrational fear of kitchens. Might be... Yeah.
Where's Ben gone to this panel? Oh, he's just outside the corridor because he has an irrational fear of kitchens.
It's a one-off gag.
Yeah.
Again, this is one of those gags that didn't really need to be there. It's more a case of, at this point in the game, a guy jumps out of a huge oven, so let's do that bit. And then I touch on the fact that Captain's got a bit of plot development here where he's needs his smokes, character developments, where he needs his smokes.
The nicotine monkey's on his back and it's going crazy.
And they bump into Peon, because I figured it was about time we saw a bit more of him as well. And then it's more filler, but there's some character development here.
I don't know, I did like this comic just because you get to see Ben and Captain just kind of conversing though.
Conversing a little bit.
Yeah. Michelle Payne just kind of runs in halfway through and just says, "No, none of that, I'm here. It's my story."
Oh, this is my story. Yes, he's Auron from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
I do quite like that Captain is so desperate he just starts eating nicotine patches.
Yeah.
And then we referenced the horrible breather things.
Yeah, and then we never did anything with it.
Didn't do anything with it. I just literally wanted them to go to the infirmary for a reason, just so they can have an offhand reference to that creature exists.
You set up as though there's about to be another mini-boss fight and immediately drop it.
Yeah, and then we cut away straight away from that in 57, where we were really going gangbusters now to try and get to the end.
I like, this is another strip I end up, I don't know if it's this one or the one after it, but I really like the entire sequence here.
A lot more effort went into these than some of the other pages, I suppose.
True,
you can see different perspectives, the background's quite interesting.
Yeah, you even created an entire file with just background images to copy and paste in.
Copy and paste in, and there's gratings on the floors and stuff, and there's a hand there that looks horribly out of place because it's way too overdrawn. Its hand's just aged 50 years.
It still looks kind of broken as well. But it's effort. It's good.
We get Bowser kicks Captain in the face that he's out cold for the next bit.
Yeah.
I even went to the lengths of giving him heroin puckers on his arm.
Yeah, I think you made me colour that in this case. But I don't know how to do bruising. Here, you do it.
Possibly.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. It looks a bit lazy. It looks like it's just kind of a little bit of shading, so I might have done that. Oh no, you did the shadings for these though. So
yeah, I did the shading, so I did the really bad bruising on the one half.
Bowser's face is all over the place, but that's because I have trouble trying to keep people's faces consistent when I first draw them for...
Oh, I had the same problem. You should see some of the ways Captain's face changes in the first comic I drew.
Oh yeah, we get the oh really Owl moment. Don't know why I did that.
Because memes.
It's like, oh really?
Just memes.
And then he's just cutting into his t-shirt, so it just says
Funny.
It's funny. And then the next one is the one where I went all out on it. It just goes insane. It's like game reference theatre. Oh no, Halloween first.
Halloween first.
Well, I just did the Lupin thing.
Again.
Captain is Spy Jerusalem from Transmetropolitan, and obviously Ben gets to be Goemon from Lupin, because that's the excuse. And the background just to say is the previous one, where it's flame.
Only with even more fire this time.
More fire.
They're not just standing on fire, they're just kind of sitting in it.
Hovering in fire. And there's just a random desk there.
I guess someone's set Payne's office on fire, I don't know.
58. This is the one where I went all out with the button presses, because at this point in the game it's a quick time sequence, which a lot of people didn't see coming, so you just get killed outright.
Yeah.
Over and over, because there's so many button presses in this quick time sequence.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'll reference the fact that it's a Nintendo game, it's on PlayStation, it's on Nintendo Wii, and then I just start throwing different game.
Yeah, so we've got Fahrenheit Indigo
Prophecy,
whatever it's called.
A sprite panel, which is from Monkey Island's Inside the Saw Fighting. That was fun to do, actually.
I love that panel.
Pirates of the Caribbean reference. Yeah. Very good, you know your talks about your footwork. If I step over here, very good, and now I step again. Another sprite panel, which is just generic fighting game.
Yeah, I also like that panel.
I like that panel as well, even though I didn't nick the background. The background was originally a bit more kind of oily. I had to make it colder and tweak some of the colourings. Yeah. Really, I should go back and replace that with one of my own backgrounds, but I think it's probably going to be one of those I'll just leave as is. The infinity sign for the timer appears to be a sideways 8.
Yes.
Shoryuken, a random Smackdown from the game Smackdown, WWF. And then we reference Ben, who's currently arms deep with one of the other boss fights from the game.
Yes.
The U3.
U3.
It was, and at the end I made it a thing where you can play along and try and work out which games are which interfaces.
Yeah.
It's a long page, entirely needless, but it was quite decent.
Yeah. It's one of my favourite pages, but I like this one as well. So.
Well, you like the fact that, Ping gets saved by Sameda. And I do quite like that, Joe. So if isn't the bitch in the red dress, because I always said that she's not really wearing red. She's wearing a kind of pinky fuchsia colour. Yeah. So we referenced that as like it's more of a pink. Browser just runs away at this point, I think. I quite like the idea of just muttering as he leaves. I don't know who I'm messing with.
Talk dog.
And you just like this sequence here when they yell at each other, don't you?
They're not yelling at each other, they're bickering like an old married couple, which is just something that they always do.
I was biding my time. You're trying to stab me in the throat? What part of the plan? With your own knife! And then they're tripping. Yeah, it's alright. It's a nice bit of exposition.
Yes.
And character development. And then for Detulux 16, we just have a bit of a fight sequence between Ben and U3. It's just to highlight the fact that there was a boss fight there, really. Yeah. I think I'm just ticking the boxes again. Didn't really need to go to these lengths.
No, it's just kind of explaining where Ben is at the moment while you're, Payne and Captain's off doing other things and getting caught in, being beaten up by Bowser and whatnot.
Random Christmas episode.
Yeah. I did the snow.
You did the snow. You did all the snow. And I think I stole that sign from one of the previous ones.
Yeah.
I drew it. I'm not sure, but the bit extreme them nailing the wood to the front just to say close to Christmas.
That's a very big nail as well.
It's a huge nail.
Where do you buy company-sized nails from?
Ben put it in with his own hands. And I don't know why, but Payne's wearing... the greatcoat's always kind of been something he wore, because obviously that's part of his legal front.
Yeah.
But the red scarf, I think, was a reference to Michael Caine in Muppets Christmas Carol when he gets given the red scarf at the end. It's just a little bit of colour.
I thought it was just because it was cold.
61, Guns Akimbo. And I think there was a gap between the first part of this and the last part. I think I did the first part 1 year, and then there was like a 6-month gap. When I did this panel, there's a panel where Bowser stood above them, and it might have been after Steel Nation, when I was doing Steel Nation.
Yeah, I think so.
I came back to it after Steel Nation and did some of this. Which is why... Well, the shading's taken, because I'm doing the shading now, aren't I, with the airbrush?
You definitely did the background there. That wasn't me. So yeah, I think you've taken over the shading there. The characters
haven't been shaded.
No, they have been shaded. So I think I'm still doing the shading on the characters, but you did all the background.
But then you get to the Bowser panel, I'm doing all the shading because it's all airbrushed from there.
Yeah.
I don't mind some of these, but the bit where Captain's getting all the witticisms wrong, it's just a bit random.
Like, he's just trying to look cool, like, in the movies, but utterly failing because he's the captain.
I think the script was pretty open at this point. It was just literally one line, which was like, they have a gunfight. So I made it up as I went along. At least we established that Captain's terrible in a firefight.
Yeah.
And then the gunfight, which was the one-liner, again, and I have the... I have to point out that it's a naked gun joke. I couldn't just left that off there. Have them, like, shooting each other, like, they're next to each other. Mm-hmm. I do quite like the bit where Captain Turner appears upside down, lands on his own head. And then the panel I've always been really pleased with is the MC Escher panel, which I don't know why I went down the route with MC Escher. I think it's because I remember it being a bit of a confusing area to fight.
Yeah, it really was.
Crowds are in, so rather than just go with typical fight, I thought let's just do something a bit different and have like an MC Escher setup.
It's an amazing panel. I really like that one.
And then we just cut to the top of the tower where everyone conveniently runs out of bullets and they comment on it.
Yep.
While Captain looks at the audience. So to say, don't mind us. I do quite like the bit where the arm transforms. I think we're getting to bits now where I'm quite pleased with some of this stuff. I quite like how his arm just goes, so it just shoots at the end of his arm. Yeah, because that's what I think that's pretty much what he did in there. Yeah, I'm not sure it was that violent in the game.
Yeah, I don't think it took him that much off guard. I can't remember though.
And then because I hadn't seen Hunchback of Notre Dame at this point, but I had seen music videos online.
Yeah, of this one song, so you decided to reference it or just do it.
Just to have the full Hunchback sequence here.
Didn't even make sense.
62, 63. And then we've got a bit of manipulation here from Payne regarding cigarettes, because he knows...
Captain's gang.
This is based on the Wikipedia article where I think it says that Jack Bauer is a master of torture. Yeah. So I thought, how can we play that to advantage?
Yeah, so I guess he's noticed that the captain's really, really, really needs a cigarette, so he's just case of, but I'm just going to light one up and stamp on it.
And then shoves the guy off the... I do quite like that. It's very... It's like,
no
grab,
one saw it coming.
Shove. And flap, flap, flap. That's quite funny. Very dynamic. And of course, the cigarette packet has got fluke hit. Yeah. Rather than lucky strike.
It's a brand you keep using.
It's a brand I keep using. And I put some achievements at the end, because why not? Yeah. Actual plot development beyond Jack Bowser.
Yeah, and this is also the first comic where you did a bonus alter ending.
Yeah, where they just like, can you give me a last thing? No, stab. Why not?
And it works because it's a video game comic, so yeah.
And then Detulux Halloween 2008.
I think originally you were planning on doing the third part of the Lupin trilogy for this bit, but then Dark Knight happened. In this case, of no, but Payne definitely dressed up as Heath Ledger this year.
And then gets to some random stuff like Ben as the Heavy from TF2 and a really horrible picture of Mara as Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she's even dyed her hair blonde just for the costume.
And Captain as Tommy Monaghan from the DC Hitman series. Oh, and of course, Judge Fraud Bolo, whatever we called him. Judge Claude Frollo, but I'm trying to remember what we called him. Lord Judge Brolo. Yeah. Oh, dear.
Yeah, they just invited him along for the Halloween party, because why not?
In Arkham Asylum, where there's blood everywhere. Frying Pan, I'm very pleased with this one, actually.
The background is amazing.
The opening bit where... Well, the background isn't amazing for the first two panels, but the bit where they look at the huge base, this huge sprawling base with all these searchlights, I'm quite pleased with that, because it's a bit quite detailed and you've got these different layers to it. The lighting's pretty good.
Oh, I did the joke here as well.
What's that? Well, they got Ben too.
Yeah. Wait a minute, that is Ben. No, they got Ben too. Slap.
And then we got the fluke hit logo and all its glory at the end, just because I put it together, so I thought, why not show that off? Yeah. Because nobody noticed it in the previous one, because it was so small. Throw it in everyone's faces. Yeah. Those are true subtlety.
Chain gang.
Chain gang. Right, so we got a random reference to Big Brother in the background here. Yeah. Where I think... No, that's not it. That's the Uncle Sam poster, isn't it? Or the Lord...
Yeah.
Because of the British version and the American one, isn't there? Whereas I want you in my parasite-controlled army. And then we got Big Birdner instead of Big Brother. These are the later panels, so I just traced over the Big Brother poster.
Yeah, no solid any security cameras, but he's watching anyway.
Matalo Guy gets a reappearance. We like Matalo Guy.
Yeah.
And then they get inside the base, and there's Birdner there with his DS, and a whole bunch of Ganados, who I've copied and pasted, because I'm lazy.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a video game thing, so all those guys look exactly the same anyway. Yeah. Although this is the second comic to include a bonus.
Oh yeah, there's a bonus ending at the end where Ben smacks someone, and then the
He
cameras...
couldn't be bothered to wait for the Masso Man to tell him what phrase to use, so he decides to punch the guy on the entrance, killing his boss in the process.
Oh, right, there's a random one here for the Detulux recruitment drive, because we used to have a group on Urban Debt, didn't we, for Detulux Incorporated. And at one point, I was actually working for campaigns from there. I was campaigning to get new members.
Yeah, so you're just spray painting tiny URLs for...
Yeah, tiny URLs for photo bucket images.
Yeah.
And they're all posters for I want you in my office in 5 minutes, spreading all over my desk. Damn you, fine girl. All other things there. It's just it's a bit of silliness. Shitty recruitment campaigns in my low-tech MMO zombie apocalypse game.
It's more likely than you think.
I was quite pleased with some of these. Annoyingly, I'm pretty sure the Urban Dead page is the top result from Detulux Incorporated.
If it's still about, I don't know.
Urban Dead
it's
Wiki.
Still there. Urban Dead Wiki.
Followed up by the page on my website.
And then Pro Board.
And then a Pro Board.
Is Pro Board still going? Well, our Pro Board thing. Oh god, it's still there.
It hasn't been updated in ages there.
No, we kind of forgot it existed and none of us really had the link to it.
They've updated this since as well.
Yeah.
Looks a lot nicer than it used to.
Yeah, it does.
All the pictures have gone from our...
Oh no, Dross image is still there.
Dross is still there.
But all the other images...
Yeah, we used to have... There used to be one there for taking an inventory. Oh, no, it's still there. You just can't see it on the preview page. Where I've literally recoloured Charles Dance and inserted a random guy with an afro in the background.
You know, because you look like one of our mates. And then there's me with my giant pencil trying to usher zombies out of the building or whatever it was.
I spent ages writing this as well. Newbie ordaining beginner system. Basically explained that we didn't have plans and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, the campaign picture is still there, just there.
Yeah.
That's a nice tangent.
Still there.
Well, it's nice to know that my actual website gets the second...
Yeah, maybe one day I'll overtake the other one.
Right, Darwin's Laser.
Oh, this was another really impressive sequence that you've managed to do here.
I mean, some of these later ones are alright, to be fair. It's just the early stuff I don't really like.
But then you have to... Well, whenever anyone starts something for the first time, it always starts off kind of rubbish at first.
I think a lot of the improvement came after Steel Nation.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but after spending a lot of time on doing the Steel Nation stuff, there seemed to be some jump in the art style.
It's basically just practice and working out, ways to do things and stuff, because you had more chance to experiment in Steel Nation, I guess.
The font's changed.
Oh.
We're no longer using Comic Sans. Presumably because I'd been in Steel Nation or IDD, one or the other, I decided to use a different font.
I want to say Steel Nation.
I want to say Steel Nation where I changed the font name.
Yeah, I think so.
I started using Jester, which I do quite like. It's got quite a nice look to it.
Yeah.
And the corridor, spent fucking ages doing that corridor, where I had to draw all the side panels separately. And then, I don't think it was Paint Shop Pro. I think I had another program which was easy. I think it was Coral Photo Paint.
Yeah.
You could do a separate layer and then do a proper perspective vector where you can take different images and then move them perspectively, because I know some programs are a bit more difficult to do that with. Yeah. So that's why you had this kind of semi-3D perspective thing going on, because once it stretched everything into place, it all looked a bit like I'd rendered it in a 3D program, which I hadn't.
Yeah. It does look really impressive.
And I remember I had you do the lasers in the end, which I couldn't bother to work them out.
I was your special effects person at the time, despite the fact I wasn't particularly good at special effects. So those lasers have turned out pretty well, so I think I was getting the knack for doing that kind of thing by this point.
I quite like the joke as well, when it's just saying single
lasers.
syllable words. Lasers, door, lasers.
Lasers is 2 syllables.
Someone did point out that the control panel is speaking to them in English, which is convenient. She's saying Ronco, ow. But I quite like that, where it's just a bit of randomness and they pile in and then discuss how the hell Birdman was supposed to have. Well, that was something I always wondered, is how Sam was supposed to get down his laser corridor of death to his throne room.
Yeah. Well, I managed to work it out. the tentacle.
I'm surprised I didn't make a reference to the lasers dialogue from Time Bandits. Well, if I'd have been in charge, lasers, day one.
I guess you couldn't find a way to fit it in.
And then we have Payne sit in the chair, because I think there's a bit in the game where you can have Leon sit down in the chair for a bit. Cut back to Ben pummeling the hell out of everyone, and then he goes to his throne room and Payne's stolen it. Because I thought it was a funny thing to do. Yeah. Just relocate the throne room.
Oh, he needed a new office chair.
We are going to run with that as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a recurring thing. We had a couple of panels before for various things. I think in the world... in the
world tour,
Two Doctors World Tour.
But the thing is, when I was drawing it, I suddenly realised that I somehow managed to make it so Payne was swivelling on the chair. So I think we, in the end, decided the story behind it was Payne really missed being able to kind of swivel on his chair, so he had the legs ripped off and replaced with a proper office chair thing, which is really top heavy, but it works.
Yeah, some of these, I remember these took ages. Like there's the next page where got Haley in the pod, and the effect with the like transparent glass effect on the front. It was just some of these were so detailed. Yeah. Like, and I was drawing bits separately. Like you can tell in the third panel, you can see I've overlaid the characters on top, so did them on a separate page, and then copied and pasted them in. But yeah, pretty good. I like some of the character stuff here. The characters look a bit more solid as well. They don't look so.
The art style has really improved since the beginning. Paint's a lot more consistent now. I don't know about. I think the captain is as well, actually.
A little bit. He's always been a bit ill-proportioned anyway, but still can't get away from the occasional. I do for like the fan of dramatic convenience. I have to put that in just to explain why he's suddenly flapping. so yeah, some pretty good action here, to be honest. Yeah, really detailed gun. I'm pretty pleased with some of this stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't look half bad. Haley looks like ass, and Captain's Uzis have grown over the course of the series as well. I'm pretty sure they started out as tiny little submachine guns.
They've
and now they're
like
full-size Uzis.
Yeah.
But yeah, some pretty good perspective stuff there. It's probably not quite proportioned, but it's more interesting than some of the previous pages we've seen. Footlong, where we explain that, because in Resident Evil 4 there was a side story where you could play as Ada, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And one of the things that randomly Ada comes across is a huge battleship.
Yeah, that she has to take
down.
That
just got hidden in a warehouse somewhere. So we just reference the fact that that's been blown up.
Do you have a plan on taking on Separate Ways, or whatever it was called? Probably not.
No, that was probably the closest you're ever going to get to Separate Ways.
He said, I found a boat, I blew it up.
I think these were two separate pages originally. I think I had it so that it ended with cock slapped.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the best sound effects ever. And then I needed an excuse to smash up the science room where Leon in the game gets his parasite removed. So I thought, well, thinking back to Terminator 2, especially the arcade game where you had to shoot up the laboratory, and if you left any bits of it lying around, you'd get the bad ending.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they smash up the laboratory.
He's enjoying himself far too much during all that.
I haven't got a clue if that Spanish for Fluga Parasite Extraction Machine makes any sense. I don't speak Spanish. Showdown at sunrise. Yeah. Almost at the end now. Literally just rushing to the end here now, where it's like, big space. We need to get to the ending. The ending takes place on a big open space. Let's get there. I mean, I think there's a lot more character stuff coming through now, where it's like characters like, "I'll shoot you down." No, because you're terrible.
Really, really terrible. And then Spars just kind of gets herself out because it's a case of, I was an escape artist. Ha!
And then we established that Payne's a film geek.
One massive fanboy.
I did quite enjoy the Ben sequence where he's ripping people apart.
He just gets bored.
You will notice if you look closely that all the henchmen was again copy-paste job. But I spent ages drawing that sheet of henchmen just to be able to reuse them. And I'm quite glad I did because it doesn't look too bad, does it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then in the second before last panel where I've traced over some helicopters because I can't really draw helicopters. Oh, I did the same with the henchmen as well. That's what took so long. Once I'd finished the page of Ganados for copying and pasting, I then had to do a page filled with henchmen. I think there's like 9 different henchmen on that thing.
Yeah, something like that.
But it looks good.
There's me drawing individual henchmen like a chump.
And that's probably one of my favourite pictures of Payne there in the last panel.
Yeah.
It's like, shh. It's the most Payne-like picture of him.
Yeah.
Top tier girling, because I randomly wanted to do a page featuring the Top Gear guys.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I've completely forgotten what it is now.
I really wanted to draw Top Gear guys as members of the Detulux staff. Oh, that's another thing. The Detulux staff uniforms changed.
Yeah, because of our failed Colosseum entry.
We were going to enter an original character tournament called the Colosseum, featuring the Detulux crew.
Yeah.
And because you were going to draw it, And suddenly the white suited henchmen, the guys in the white jumpsuits, had a bit of red trim on them to match the logo.
Yeah, the
which I really liked.
I decided to make the henchmen look slightly more detailed for it, so on my original DeviantArt account I've got a little reference picture for it, so I added the red trim to them, and to the white henchmen, and then the other henchmen I actually put on a little belt filled with pouches and radios and things. But you didn't carry that across, we got rid of that because that was too fiddly, but you kept the red trim.
I like the red trim on the other girls. It was a nice touch just to make the uniform a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Messrs. May, Hammond and Clarkson. No, not too bad. I'm not very good at caricature, but I like to think that people can tell who they're supposed to be.
Yeah. May and Clarkson look spot on anyway.
Yeah, well Hammond's a bit kind of...
Yeah, but then, to be fair, no one can really pin down what Hammond's thing is anyway, because...
I think I got his hair. His hair's right, but his face isn't quite there. I just did a youthful face.
Yeah.
Clarkson's beer guts there, because he's got a bit of a porch on him, I think. So.
Yeah, at least he did it at the time. I don't know if it's still there or not.
And then we're coming into the final leg now.
Yeah, you've...
Last two, actually.
At least of your stuff.
Okay, so these pages, a bit of advice for anyone who ever does a story, don't ever write crowd scenes, because they're a pain in the arse to have to draw.
Yeah.
Not unless you...
Don't write a supervillain comic where he has a million henchmen.
Yeah. That's a pretty bad idea, because here's an example of the reason why I hated these secret scenes, because although in many of the panels where you got close-ups, you can see I've just used the henchmen off the sheet, copied and pasted them in, and then did a blur so that we're focusing on the foreground.
Yeah.
the panel, I think I had to redraw that panel where you got the village, because I wasn't happy using the village from the original pages.
Well, you didn't really do a proper background, at least not from this kind of perspective in the original pages anyway.
Well, there's one all the way back in page 24. There's a perfectly good scene there with all the houses and stuff. But
I think it would have jarred slightly.
The line art is so shoddily done, I couldn't get away with it, so I actually had to redraw. Yeah. But I didn't do the version I didn't think, right, I'll do a proper version of the village. I thought I'd better redraw the village I did so that it doesn't jar too much. And I don't know if I gave it a textured floor just in reference to the fact that I used to give everything textures, or whether it's just something to make it a bit more interesting, because I was doing a big brown mass.
But to be fair, the way you did the line art changed a lot by this point as well, because originally you did pen, but I think at this point you were doing it in pencil and then redrawing it on the laptop with the mouse. On the actual laptop with the mouse, yeah. Cause it's kind of originally I just did everything in pen straight off and colour it, and then I did a version where I'd pencil it, pen it, then clean up the line work. Then I realised it was quicker just for me to ink it in the computer using the mouse and keyboard. So yeah.
And we actually get to see Captain doing some captaining.
Yeah.
Calling everyone ass clowns. Couldn't think him calling them anything else really. So
yeah.
Throw an eggs at the final villain, which is a throwback to the Getting Eggy page.
Yeah.
From 5 years before. And I actually really enjoyed drawing the final boss character.
Yeah.
But
it's an interesting design.
Instantly regretted it, because then obviously I had to redraw it in subsequent ones. And I think it was around this point you'd expressed some interest in. Yeah,
I started to express it, but I think that was like a year past where you didn't actually work on Detulux at all, or a year and a half or something.
Could have been 2 years quite easily, because I did.
Well, you spent a year doing World Tour stuff.
There's World Tour stuff in between here, and I think the idea was that in that year you'd expressed a bit of interest in doing the Detulux artwork. I think the way you expressed it was that you did a couple of short comics. It was in Wright Brothers, blah 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 blah. No, meanwhile, over at Detulux,
well, it was a comic of me trying to draw Wright Brothers, kind of forcing myself to draw Wright Brothers. So the scene I was drawing at the time involved a newscaster doing all this exposition, and I realised that the speech bubble I needed to put in would contain about 50 words, and there wasn't really a decent space to cut it down and spread it across other speech bubbles, or even across other panels, because otherwise it'd be a case of either I'll be drawing the same thing in like 3 different panels, the exact same image, and it looked really boring, or I could do one big image and just have a massive wall of text. So this, in the end, I just drew this little comic showing my thought process of me just slowly going insane, trying to work out how I was going to do this. And suddenly, meanwhile, in Detulux, it's just Payne running away from the giant monster he's actually fighting in this comic.
Far more thrilling. So, yeah, that kind of... I got the hint. and discussions were had, and I agreed. But originally the intention was I was going to finish up to episode 80, but it became very apparent that that was not going to happen because I think I did the beginning panel.
Yeah, you did the first half.
I did the first half of page 73, where this first bit took like a year to do that.
Yeah.
And then this took like another year to do panels like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then when you said, actually, I'm happy to take over from this point, I was like, cool, okay, what do we do? Oh, I know, we'll have him get slapped in the face by a giant cock.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
There could be worse ways to finish your tenure on a comic. And drawing the main character get an 8-foot penis to the face is probably one of the better ways.
Yeah.
And I had great fun drawing it.
Yeah, we have to read out the captain's dialogue here, just in case it wasn't quite clear enough.
Well, yeah, we can do. So, boss, you okay, boss? Come on, boss, snap out of it. Wow, he really took that cock like a pro, straight to the face. And then he died.
Yes. Or did he?
Or did he? Meanwhile, in the full version, he wakes up to find that everything's now in HD and a lot nicer.
Well, that's debatable.
To look at. I think it looks better.
Although
you did originally forget to put blood all over Ben. We had to send you back to redo all the blood. I was like, he's supposed to be drenched in blood right now. He's clean.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
He stopped trying to wash.
No, he didn't. I had to go back and put blood on him.
But no, looks really good.
Although about halfway through, well, when I first started doing this, it was in Paintshop Pro, but then then Sean bought me a lovely new tablet for my birthday, which didn't work with Paintshop Pro at all, so I ended up having to buy a new image software for it. So if you actually pay close attention to the line art, there's some characters that are quite clearly done in one program and other characters that are quite clearly drawn in the other.
Like the background where you freeze tangling with...
yeah, the line art is a lot better on that than it is on all the...
it just seems a lot more fluid.
Yeah.
I think I'd say.
Well, the thing is, Paintshop Pro was apparently never designed to work that well with tablets, because if you look at the brush options, it just doesn't show the pressure stuff quite the same as Photoshop or Manga Studios does, which is what I'm using now, Manga Studios.
Manga Studio was quite cheap compared to some of the programs that are out there, and it seems to do everything.
Well, they released 2 versions. There's one that had a lot more features on it than the one I actually bought in the end. So there was a 30 quid one and a 90 quid one, and I went for a 30, I think. Or was it 60 and 90? Something like that. But yeah, it's a really good program so far.
And then the most current episode 74, Effective Delegation, and it's just bringing it awesome. I know you're having so much fun drawing all these henchmen right now.
Well, I am enjoying it. It's just... it takes quite a lot of time to work out the henchmen because I don't want to copy and paste all of them. I'm trying to give some of the henchmen little bits of personality, and so you can kind of work out where they are at any given time. You know, stuff like that.
I love panels like Payne's face where that chainsaw doesn't land on him. It doesn't need any words at all. I was going to put Meep on there originally, but I thought, no, actually, just the expression says everything.
What the hell are you doing, woman?
But you can see the fluidity on these. I just love the program seems to be matching what you're working with so well at the moment. It looks great.
Yeah.
Detulux has arrived.
Plus it has proper perspective tools on it, so I can just turn on a ruler and actually just hand draw all the backgrounds rather than having to use the pen tool like I was doing on Paintshop Pro. So backgrounds are suddenly a joy to do rather than a complete chore it was before, so that's good as well. I
know one thing, that we rewrote this page once, didn't we? Because originally it was Mary suing. Originally Payne gets hold of the chainsaw and cuts the monster to ribbons.
Yeah.
And then he says, don't say I never did anything for you, this is a moment of awesome. And I thought, well, it's funny, in the 2 years where it kind of went on hiatus, the characters have since been developed in scripts and stuff that we've written.
Yeah.
So now that the characters that they were when I was doing it are completely different.
Yeah.
They actually have more person. We know what they're fully formed in our heads now.
Yeah.
So when we took one look at this episode, we're like, this is not how he'd act.
Yeah.
It's way too...
Plus, it doesn't really make any sense for Payne to have to be so good at taking out monsters when he has a guy like Ben on staff, because why would he hire someone like Ben if he can just do all this kind of stuff himself?
Exactly, and why is he going to get his hands dirty with something that's like a scream in his face, and he's like, second thoughts, hand it to his right-hand man, who then gets thrown at the thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, there is a Patreon, and there will be a website at some point, and it's been an interesting 10 years, but the way I see it is that 10 years didn't happen. Detulux starts now in my head. In my head, the previous 10 years was the run-up.
Yeah. We learned a lot in the last 10 years in way of actually putting comics together and how to script it and what not to do. But at the same time, I think we both agree that it's time to... It's
time to stop doing Resident Evil bloody 4.
We're getting paid out of Spain.
They've released 2 whole games since then. Well, no, two numbered games.
2 numbered games plus a couple
five games in total.
Yeah, 4 or 5, definitely.
5, 6 maybe. They released.
It's not even including all the DLC that's come out for the main games as well.
I'll be glad to see the back of the Resident Evil 4 storyline. It shouldn't have taken this long. I'd like to see why it did, because in future I don't think we'll go so specific with parodies.
No.
We'll do a highlight.
Yeah,
if there's any specific things I want to make jokes about, then we'll do a page for it. Otherwise, I just kind of want to... You want to do the highlight reel. Never spend 10 years on a comic. I mean, I remember there was a couple of points where I was going to redo the beginning, and I had some surveys up on DeviantArt, and one guy said, in all honesty, you should probably just drop the Resident Evil storyline entirely.
Yeah.
And then just start from scratch.
Yeah.
And I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Nah. I mean, you wrote out the scripts for it, and they were a lot better than the original scripts that are on here. But at the same time, you've put so much effort in Detulux so far. It just seems like a complete waste of time, really, to just scrap it all.
It's a good foundation, I think.
Yeah, it's a very good foundation.
We've spent 10 years putting the foundation in. Now we're going to get on and do something with it.
Yeah.
But it starts now, as far as I could in my own head. Although it's technically been 10 years. 10 years has passed.
Yeah.
But in my head, they didn't have. They were the learning experience.
You've graduated now. We can start properly.
But it's been a fun ride. Not so fun for me. I did not enjoy seeing some of those early strips.
I did.
I'll be honest, I actually prefer, because in the Detulux gallery on my DeviantArt page, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the World Tour in there.
That's when Ping gets a cameo. He disappears in the Detulux.
And I did enjoy doing those cameos, but I'm kind of glad he's not my main character anymore. So I enjoy drawing Ralph more. Yeah. And it makes more sense for me to be doing like the Wright Brothers stuff. Yeah. Because I can do that at my own leisure. There's storylines, but they're not really going to take that long and stuff. They're more... Yeah, it's more talky stuff. Yeah, it's not so much parodies either. It's there's reference to stuff, I think, but for the most part, it's all original stories, isn't it? All original. I think the approach I always had with Resident Evil, Wright Brothers. Sorry, I've had 2 or 3 Budweisers at this point, so
we have been looking at a lot of Resident Evil.
My approach with Wright Brothers is that it's kind of stories I wrote when I was 10. Yeah. It's kind of got that childlike naivete about it. Yeah. And there's a bit of weirdness to it. Whereas Detulux, it was always supposed to be a series of parodies based around with the occasional original thing thrown in. It's its own story at its core, and it's got its own story narrative and all the rest of it. Yeah. What their goals are, what they're going to achieve. But every misadventure is very familiar because it's happened in a film or a game or something like that. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. Yeah. It's good. I think we can look back on these 10 strips and then just forget they never existed until the website gets put together and I'll have to do the transcripts.
That'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Plus, most of the transcripts have already been written because they're on the other one. Yeah. The other site. I mean, you've got up to Smade's meeting with Brett Bowser anyway. That's true. I think I actually did ones beyond that, but I never got around to uploading them. Yeah. So they're probably saved somewhere. Well, I hope you've enjoyed listening to this or watching it as much as we have recording it. Yeah. I was despairing for most of it, so hopefully I've polished this up and made it a little bit more enjoyable to listen to by the time you listen to it. The videos have got some points in it as well. Yeah. Might even be some more pages up by then, so for you to enjoy as well. Yeah, we're recording this in May. It's not till mid-June where the anniversary technically happens. So I'll be uploading this on the day Detulux was originally uploaded to DeviantArt. So cool. Yeah. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, and read Detulux. Guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.